Good morning, Zio here, and it is time for our Sunday Gaming Roundup, where we go through the stories we already talked about throughout the week so you can get caught up. And if you want more information on any of that stuff, links are in the description down below. As well as sometimes at the end we add a little something else that didn't have a whole lot to be talked about or something, but I wanted to put it out there or talk about it, or at least say it's a thing that happened, which is Google Stadia. It's something we'll actually go into just a little bit more in depth because, yeah, I may have not actually talked too much about it in, what was it, Friday's video? When it was supposed to be GameStop and Stadia. Yeah, anyway, at the end of this one, when we go through everything else, we'll expand a little bit onto that a little more. But, I guess with all of that, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do so now. Be part of the whatever we call this, get some coffee, all that good stuff, popcorn if you want it. Subscribe, like, share the video out there to everyone that you can find, because the faster we grow, the more of these things that I can start doing along with other projects. Yeah, sounds great to me, so let's get into it. So we started off on the week talking about a more serious sort of thing. We did do a lot of jokes, maybe something like that. Not sure. We started the video off seriously. Anyway, and again, of course, if you are the victim of such a heinous act as what you're seeing on the screen there, call somebody, call 911, 999-000, whatever it is your emergency number is, and please do everybody a favor and call someone. It helps you, it helps everybody else, and don't come out 7 years later squalling about it on Twitter when your entire Twitter, Facebook, and every other feed for that time that it supposedly happened shows a completely different story. It doesn't help anybody when that happens. You're helping yourself and you're helping everybody else. And, if it legitimately happened, you could be putting a predator behind bars, which is what we all would like. So, yeah, speak up. Anyway, aside from that, we talked about this role-playing live stream series, D&D style type thing, Verona. Anyway, no, I'm not gonna sing. We talked about their fictional assault that happened to one of the player characters on there that caused them to cancel themselves, and sort of touched on the idea of why normal gamers don't want to play with the SJW type or NPC type of people out there. This is why we mock you when you tell us it's no longer for sweaty nerds in your basement kind of deal, or, when you sit there and generalize us and mock us and things like that and use the, stereotypes, there we go, to talk about other, about gamers because they don't want to play with you. This is why we can't play with you, because you can't have a bard in your party without dying, clutching your pearls like some kind of pearl clutcher. Best way I can put it. But seriously, I don't see how these people don't realize that they act exactly the same way as what they claim to fight, like back in the 90s or whatever. Or God, it's so weird to see the roles reversed like that. I already live in the Bible Belt since like 95 or whatnot, and I've had to deal with the whole magic is the devil, and D&D is the devil, and Harry Potter is the devil, and all that, the normal stuff that apparently I'm going to go all the way to heck and back because I like to play a card game or something. I've dealt with that. I don't need a bunch of other people now giving me the exact same argument from the opposite in the spectrum. Anyway, that kind of went out into a rant. Let's tell you how I really feel about these people. Anyway, yeah, so that's the thing that happened. They went ahead and they canceled themselves. The DM is apparently claiming he's going to therapy. Come on, please. Really? I need a bitch please at this point somewhere on the screen. But yeah, if the DM seriously is actually going to seek therapy for this little gaff, I guess you can say it, then you need more therapy for more than just this. Trust me on that point. You are way too weak to be living in this world. Anyway, that's a bit harsh, isn't it? Anyway, everybody else, of course, they all had mixed reactions on screen. A lot of them were pretty surprised when they realized what was going on. The other one was just sort of going with it, and nobody used their player's agency, and apparently none of them really actually know how to roleplay or do D&D at all. Or maybe I just come from a different kind of D&D style where my player actually has agency and can say no, I want to blast him in the face with a fireball. Or something like that, or shoot them with a blaster, whatever weaponry they have, abilities they have at their disposal, that sort of thing. Yeah. Apparently these people, and the DM apparently is some kind of award-winning something another, which I've never heard of before in my life, of course, but, sure. Maybe in his own circles over in wherever it is that they live in whatever big city. Anyway, so yeah, this is a thing that has happened, and I've talked way too long on it. Watch the full video for the full context and to get all the other good stuff down in the description down below. But then we talked about Modern Warfare Remastered, or I'm sorry, Modern Warfare 2 Remastered, that was spontaneously dropped on, what was it, the PlayStation? Jeez, wow. My mind is no longer here since we've all been, since the kids. By the way, viral update randomly inside the middle of the video. School is out for the rest of the season. I need more coffee. No, anyway, so school's going to be out. The kids are going to be in my hair forever until next school year. Anyway, so I'm not going to have any rest whatsoever. It's going to be a very, very, very long, whatever months it is between now and the beginning of next school year. So Modern Warfare 2 Remaster was spontaneously released for one system. Pretty sure it was PlayStation. Can't remember. Anyway, yeah, so it was spontaneously released, has no multiplayer, and it cost a little bit of pretty penny, like, gosh, what was it? I've got the wrong thing up here, but I was thinking maybe $19.99. This is the wrong article, I'm sorry. But maybe it was like $19.99 or something, but the real thing was the fact that it comes with that ghost pack or whatever that you can use in the other thing, Warzone and stuff, which I think is really what it was all about, was to cash into that, give players a little something, I guess, for the fact that they're going to be spending $20 or more on this pack of things to use during, in Warzone. And, apparently, according to other people out there in the company and stuff, this game has been sitting on the shelf, essentially behind glass, going in case of emergency or when we need a quick buck break glass kind of deal. So that's a thing. And then we talked about anti-cheat software running in Verona. Gosh, I can't pronounce Jack. Which is funny because I can sit there and talk about it to other people, pronounce it just fine, but I sit down here, forget it. Anyway, so the new game by Riot, right? It's currently in beta or whatever, sending out beta keys, and it's got essentially effectively a rootkit that it installs onto your computer at the lowest level of security. So if you're curious, usually security is set up in sort of this ring system, like ring 0 is going to be the highest level of access. It's your administrative privileges, apparently, onto a PC, right? Followed by ring 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. And, depending on where a program lies on that particular ring, depends on how much access they have to, your PC and stuff. And this installs software in the, what they say is to prevent hacking, and it gives it administrative power on ring 0 of your kernel, and then And then it messes with other games, won't allow other things to properly function. It eats up your hardware, or not your hardware, but your resources of your hardware, and it runs 24/7 while your computer is on, whether you're playing the game or not. Now, of course, Riot and Tencent and everything came out. It's like, no, we're not going to do it for anything that's nefarious. It's just to prevent people from cheating. Although within hours, somebody already broke the code and was hacking the game, and they've already had to ban several people off the beta because they were hacking and caught hacking. Never mind that, it already failed to do what it set out to do. It's not the point of whether or not China wants to steal your data. I mean, it's a fear, a logical fear, especially with everything that's going on right now, that China stealing your data. But it's the fact that hackers can use it. If they know you've got it installed on your system because you're playing the game, they can then use it as a backdoor into your system and have administrative privileges through it. And that is the big thing that has to do with all that. So even if everything else was on the up and up, oh gosh, it's the hackers that could pose a problem. And then we talked about some YouTube drama. And, you know, I don't normally go into like YouTuber dramas and stuff that much unless it's related to the nerdom in some way, shape, or form. Like we talked about Pro Jared, right? Mainly because I'm a huge fan of his, of course, and I just wanted to talk about it. But, you know, he's in the gaming space. He's a gaming YouTuber. Anime YouTubers, of course, also fall onto my radar because, you know, my whole thing is this is nerd news. I talk about nerd news, which is primarily gaming news on this channel, but we do split out into other things like maybe Ghostbusters or anime, sci-fi stuff like Star Wars and things, and Star Trek and anything else that would be considered into the domain of nerdom, I guess you can call it. Comic books, things like that. Even though I primarily do games because that is my biggest passion, but, you know, I'm a nerd, I'm a geek, I'm a neek, whatever you want to call it. You know, weeb. I said it. Don't tell anybody. Anyway, for the whole two that saw that, I'm a weeb. Anyway, so we talked about Suzy Lou, right? We talked about Suzy Lou and the fact that just following this makes me feel like it's an Alex Mauer 2.0. And of course, if you don't know who that is, they were doing something with a game, what was it, Stargazer, I think, DSP, something like that. Anyway, all the information, of course, is in the video that I actually did because I remembered it then. And I had stuff on the screen because I'm smart like that occasionally. But, you know, it feels a lot like that. It started off differently where one was trying to get people's attention about what they felt was owed to them by a company and stuff. And then nobody wanted to give them the time of day. So, you know, they decided to start spuriously DMCAing, false flagging things. Meanwhile, the other one, you've got a YouTuber who just doesn't like being talked about. And if you criticize them, well, they're going to false flag, submit like closed captioning things on your video, flag it for harassment, that sort of thing. So, yeah, we talked about that. That was fun. And then we talked about GameStop because, you know, my favorite thing in the world is talking about GameStop. But yeah, we talked about GameStop hand sanitizer because that was a lot of fun. That's right, GameStop hand sanitizer. Never mind the goat. But yeah, this is a thing that's happening. Sanitizing the world, one bottle of alcohol at a time. Oh. Then yesterday we talked about CD Projekt Red announcing that they will not be pushing a thing. Cyberpunk 2077 will not be pushed back and have any delays due to the coof that's going around, as well as I got that thing again on my phone. If you watch this beforehand, I mentioned it probably near the end of the video. I don't remember. Anyway, it's the Xbox. Apparently, it's going to be ready for the Xbox much sooner than its whatever, its current launch date, right? That I can't remember off the top of my head for some reason. My head hurts. Anyway, the Xbox One is going to be the Xbox One version is going to be ready ahead of schedule. So whether or not they'll break release date and just release that before everything else, I don't know. Nothing's been said about that, but they did confirm somewhere around out there for some news site somewhere that it is going to be done, I guess, on that platform first. And now Google Stadia, because we also talked about Google Stadia following GameStop. So, but it did go free. So, Stadia Pro is at $9.99 a month, but you can opt out of your subscription at any time. If you're new playing Stadia, you just have to go to stadia.com, sign up, download the Stadia app for Android or iOS, play on your laptop, desktop, or Chrome OS tablet with your favorite HID compliant USB supported controller and or mouse or keyboard, and play over Wi-Fi, Pixel, or many supported Android phones. But the free version is now out and available. To reduce load on the internet further, we are working towards a temporary feature that causes the default screen resolution from 4K to 1080p. Okay, I'm not even going to go into the 4K thing. Whatever, sure, why not? You've got 4K, native 4K, because you said so. Even though id couldn't make their game natively 4K for you. Yeah. Anyway, their 4K is upscaled, of course. Like always, it is now free. And I think this was back on April 8th. Like 10 days ago. So when they went ahead and they launched the free version of it, of course, there are a few restrictions, I believe, for the free version. It just doesn't seem to really list them that I can see. And I am a complete idiot because I'm talking about the wrong article while looking at the different article. Anyway, this is free Stadia Pro, by the way, for 2 months. Anyone who signs up will get 2 free months of Stadia Pro with instant access to 9 games. 9 games, including Grid, Destiny 2, and Thumper. What is Thumper? Should I even? No, I'm not even looking that up. You can purchase even more games in the store, which will remain yours to play even if you cancel your Stadia Pro subscription. If you've already paid Stadia Pro subscribers, we won't charge you for the next 2 months. After that, Stadia Pro is $9.99 a month, but you can opt out of it at any time. So yeah, if you want to try Stadia, go ahead, sign up now, cancel your subscription, whatever. Get 2 free months, pay for some games, and give it a shot. Why not? What do you got to lose other than, well, I guess the price of the game. Anyway, that is going to end it for today. Let me know what you think about everything down in the comments below, and I will talk to you later. See ya.
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a comment, smash that like button, and always subscribe for more. And of course, there are other videos floating around somewhere on the screen, so click one of those and see if you can find something that suits your fancy. Till then, I'll see you later. Bye.